One example of one of these temple statues, it would have been on the roof of one of the Etruscan temples that we just talked about, would be this Apulu or Apollo. And this is one of the finest roof-type statues to survive. It's actually life-size and part of a larger group. You can see that it's created hollow. That's because terracotta is a very heavy material. It's also not as strong as, for example, stone. And in the firing process, if you have, for example, clay that is too thick, the chances of a blowout are much, much higher. The piece would have been painted, as you can see elements of here. And then decorative motifs were added between the legs. These are based on Greek architectural ornaments, and you can see a drainage hole in the center, probably for some kind of gutter passing through it. Obviously, drainage is always an issue when you have any kind of roof. And it calls to mind ideas of the archaic chorus that we saw from ancient Greece. For example, the face is simplified, the hair is highly stylized. We have that enigmatic smile that goes with archaic statuary. We have a simplification and very linear elements of form. For example, if you look at the legs, the detail of the legs is very, very linear rather than being rounded out. And the face, we have very large eyes and a large mouth compared to the size of the head. Again, things that we tend to see with early archaic Greek statuary. These pieces serve the same purpose, though, as the pedimental sculptures in ancient Greece. They would give you an idea of who you're praying to at that temple, who it's devoted to, maybe even giving us an idea of stories. The problem is when you put something like terracotta on a roof, well, it tends to fall off, as opposed to the pediment, where it's all carved into the stone that will become part of the Greek temple. Hence, one of the reasons why we see less of them, and being hollow cast, if they fall to the ground, they're more likely to be destroyed. And we find something that is energetic, seemingly exciting. It has motion, it's striding forward, it's gesticulating, gesturing. It's got an animated face, although perhaps a little more clumsy than later Greek statues. It does have a certain archaic elegance to it that arguably is more dynamic than most of its Greek counterparts.